Alrighty. We are now streaming. I believe so. All right, let's get started. All right, so where we left off yesterday was we got the extension. We were showing like the different scenarios, and we ran all of the pipelines. So we got scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then obviously the release pipeline. The last thing we left off was the release pipeline wasn't picking up the changes, wasn't actually doing annotations when it came to like the test environment and above. And that's interesting because when we first did this, we had annotations here, but we didn't have these tasks in the test environment. And so what happened was we got to, let's see if I have that release. No, so this is showing that it ran it, right? But if we go to like a previous one, let's say this one. Yeah, so this one, see how it didn't run it. And so what I had to do was, let me open up the project. All right, so that's the Azure DevOps SDK. I did some work on that. What we really care about is the ADO reporting extension. In actuality, we need to go into full ADO analytics. Okay. So what I needed to do was in this in these the post decorators, pre and post decorators, I had to append the release pipeline targets. So that was missing. So now once I did that, now it's injecting in the release as well. So that's everything. And now so what this is showing is we have 5 different ways that you can make a pipeline, right? The classic structure, the one where you have you have your build phase, your build stage, and then you have various jobs depending on the components, and then you have your environment deployment stages with really good environment management and vice versa. Then you have the scenario 2, where you have one build and environment stages, but you have everything clumped up into one job. Let me just show the UI. The UI is a better view. So you have the build step, but they're all clumped up into like one job, right? And then you have different apps being deployed. And then you have the third scenario where it's very, initial stages where you just have one job that does everything, build, deploy, everything for all environments. And then you have scenario 4, which is the use of templates. So this is still having one job, but it could be said that it's going to use templates in any of the other scenarios. But this is just showing like using some outside template, right? Instead of at least using task templates, right? You could also use this on job templates, but anyways. And then finally, scenario 5 is you have the classic, a classic pipeline as such, and then you have a release pipeline. So this is like the classic scenario. So with each one of these, we still have proper tracking of the different versions and the different apps that are being built and deployed, right? So, and we can slice and dice them between environments and things like that. For example, we can see that this version was deployed. Well, let's go to apps. That's better. So we can see that we have 5 deployments for each environment, which is correct, right? There's 5 scenarios, and so there's 5 deployments. This TT1, it may not be right, so we need to look into that. But it may be just a widget. But the main thing is that we have all of the executions that were done here, and all of the data is shown to be correct. Now, this is an assumption. I'm using this wonky little widget to know if it was correct or not. So it could be that it's not correct, right? So now this is where we're going to go to the next phase of this. I want to make a pipeline dashboard like this runs one, where it tells us the description and then some of this information down here. Instead of stages, it will show, I don't know, maybe this can be a configurable thing. But I want to be able to have like columns. Actually, I kind of want to combine the concept of like the boards table. So like, I don't even have anything in boards. Okay. I only have issues. Oh, I don't have any. That's funny. I don't have any like thing, any actual agile process enabled. All right, so sorry about that. So we know we have this concept of like columns, and you can do all of this steps, and then they also have roll up one, which is really good, which is you can see the number of work items and all this other stuff. I want to do something similar to this, where once you have it, then you can see the list. So something like basically this view combined with this view, right, where you can see a little bit more granular stuff. So let's see what we can cook up here as far as a view here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just head on over to Azure DevOps UI SDK, because I'm going to be spending the majority of my time in there. Something like this. They have a link in here somewhere. This one. There it is. And they talk about like extension development, theming, all this, yada, yada, yada. This is what I care about, components. And I want to look at, there's like a table. And this is a great like starting point, because they have all these different examples. And so they have the advanced table, and that's basically like the one I want, right? So, and then they show you the code on how to do it. That's something that I personally have not really enjoyed that much on Azure DevOps's approach to how they do it with React. It's very different than most React elements, most React, frameworks or UI frameworks. But in any case, it's fine. We're going to go ahead and use this as our template. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on over to our code. And I have this common thing, but I'm going to just go ahead and make another, let's call it, let's actually do this properly. All right, so let's start. All right, so just by looking at it, we got a bunch of render stuff, and then we got that thing, and then we got the main table one. The main table one has a card thing. See, this is what I don't like: observables to an item provider, and then they have the observable function props, and then this is the main table. The main table then uses item provider columns. There we go. So then the columns, this is where it gets interesting, right? Now we have, that's what they put all these render functions. And you're rendering the different things in different ways. And then you also have a sort behavior. So the sort behavior, you have like a way to sort them, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so in totality, what we're looking at is, this is pipeline. Let's just get this set up. Do I want to do it this way, or I want to just use the context? Because I could easily just do this. Really? Really? You don't know what that is? Oh, you suck. It's inside of lives. Seriously? You don't know where that is? All right, let me go ahead and open just ADO reporting, because I think it's getting confused on the IntelliSense. Don't get mad at me with my structure, okay? I'm trying to figure out how these extensions work, so I still need some time to clean up all of this. It's all over the place. This one common thing has like literally everything. It's huge, so I need to fix that. Okay. So now we have a list of runs, right? And yeah, there's like a loading thing and a bunch of other stuff. But I didn't do this right. Like I really am used to having like a context for your adaptation runs, and then here's runs. So I need to have, and I could do it right. I'll do it right next time. Okay. But for now, we have runs. Let's start making this thing. So they have this item provider, and item provider, array item provider. Now, how did I do this on the other ones? Because I have done item provider stuff, so I'm trying to see. Oh, I just knew it up right there. Okay. Do I want to do that? I just don't like the way they did that. You know what I mean? So here. See, this is what I did last time. So they're observing, they're basically observing that's what's going on. See, that's what I don't understand why they did it this way. So they're essentially creating an observable value so that when the items change, it will re-render everything under observable. But that kind of defeats the purpose of React, right? Like, why are you observing values and updating state when React does that internally? Like, that's what makes React special. You know what I mean? That pisses me off. Like, why are you going around the damn? These are basically what happened. You got a bunch of. I mean, I used to work for Microsoft. I mean, they're amazing. All right. Oh, by the way, this is wrong. They're amazing. You know what I mean? But the problem is when you get individuals that are strong in one particular language or one particular pattern, rather, because observables is a pattern is used a lot with with real-time systems. And Microsoft has, not Microsoft, but I've seen a lot of the use of reactive X, which is like the reactive library, but in C#. There's also one in JavaScript that's used a lot, right? But like this, I mean, React, like look at the name, React. It reacts to change. You know, like the name tells you everything. Why are we putting other libraries that do reactive real-time changes into a framework that already supports it? That's what I don't understand. And I know that no one's on this stream, but if you feel differently, please freaking let me know, because that just pisses me off. Okay, back to this thing. All right. All annotated runs. We got that. We're not doing the observable thing. Why are we saying partial? We don't need to do partial. And this is forget the class name. Well, this not forget it. Right here, like this item provider. Here we go. Right. So I'm just gonna say array item provider annotation runs. That's it. You know, because this will change and it will re-render everything. I don't know why they did that. Well, I know why even the terminology is all Microsoft. Okay, so now I'm gonna just go ahead and create some things here. I'm gonna say on select. Now there's nothing that we need to do anything on activate. And we're gonna do this is the data row index. See, but thankfully we don't need to do it that way. Because now we can say what is data? Data I list a annotation. Okay, yeah, so on select. On activate. All right. We got all that. Good, good. All right. So now this is where it gets fun. The columns. What columns are going to be showing? So let's think about this. Let's think about this. So let's think about this. See, this is showing all of the pipelines. Yeah, this is showing all pipelines that exist. So if we were going to translate that for us, we would find all of the like dimensions. Like for example, environment. Yeah. And then we would show the latest run for it. Yeah. So yeah, so let's find, so let's look at the first column. The first column is name pipeline, name, render name column. So the name column is showing the status, and then they're showing the text, right? That's what this is, status and text. I feel like it's just gonna be like the columns that are used. It's just any dimensions we want, really. And I don't care about the order. I don't care at all about the order. But I want the first one to at least have the status. Yeah. Okay. So let's just see what columns could be. All right, so this is by the way, this autofill thing, that is not, this is Copilot, really cool. So this is what we want. See, render header cell. See, that's cool. Because what we could do is what we can do is we can say like that. All right. This could be empty for all I care. Okay. So if that's empty, so now we have a couple things going on. We got on row selected, on row activated, but we also have on add column. This is, we're going to set columns. Isn't that amazing? And we would actually set it to the first annotation. So let's go back to here because we have annotations. You know what? Let's do this right. Let's do this right. I think I did do this right. I just haven't finished it. Yeah, why not? Let's do this right. Annotation runs context. Forget that. Yeah, Copilot just working it. Really? Okay. I guess I'm not really showing if it loaded or not. I have the information. All right, fine. We'll just there we go. All right. So what we could do is we can get all of the annotations, filter when look at that autopilot, man. Jesus Christ. So basically all annotations where the column there is no column already for it. And then that's it. Available. All right, so then, if look at that. Look at that. Autopilot, man. Autopilot. Ridiculous. By the way, it just knew that. Look at that. It knows to put that. And the reason why is because this is an object, so you can't really trust it. Go. That, and now we can, yeah, that's fine. There's actually a lot we can do with this. So now we have annotation items. So now we can grab this and just keep going. unused annotations, set unused. Like that. And now we can now even control that, right? So we can say, so forget this whole can thing. We can just set the unused to that. We can set unused annotations to that. Oh, whoops, this double array. So because so this one is updating so this is update unused annotations, and then this one is update can add column. So because we already already calculating this, we can just do that. And then all we have to do is like that. And actually not just unused. Cool. And then we don't have to do all of this stuff. We would just have to do this and can add. All right, so if we cannot add columns in return, if so, then get unused. There we go. That's it. So now we are added the ability to do that. One other thing is, and also I think I kind of want to, let's just do this. Let's do that. Now we have context on the display name and all that stuff. All right. That's now on update column. We're going to give it the annotation. No, I'd rather have now the index. And then we want to say what annotation do it with. I just don't want to deal with any of these cases. All right, and now we can just set column. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Just beautiful. I didn't even do anything. And actually, we could even do this. So that we can keep, if there's any other properties that I'm about to add to the column, I could keep them, like maybe even order or whatnot, right? So all that can be done there. And we can remove all this, and we care only about columns. That's it. Okay. All right, now that we did that, I also want to do, I want to go ahead and start a timer. Okay, we want to refresh stuff. All right, so how do we do that? Yeah. So if we were not loading in, no, if we are basically, if we were loading and now we're not loading, now we do this. So this is if not, and if not this, the return. And now we're gonna do something here. Set timeout. We're gonna say annotations context dot. Whoa, what's going on there? Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? There we go. Load. Load. And this is gonna be timeout. We need to make sure we clear that timeout when if this were to change. Right. So if for some reason we start loading again, right? This needs to be cleared. All right. Cool. So what does this do? Refresh annotations. Annotation runs every second. All right. Cool. Now that we got all that, what is this sort behavior thing? I don't know about the sort behavior thing. Let's just remove that. All right. And let's go ahead and we'll do. No, we have runs. We have this. Now we have the columns, right? And also, yeah. So let's go through the columns, map it. Okay. So this is where we're thinking about stuff. What is I? No, that's gonna be what it's supposed to be. Render cell. All right, I want to look at that first one. Render name. Oh, you can do that? Oh crap. I didn't know you can do that. All right, so we need to get a status indicator of the, okay, so yeah, the status is dot success. Okay. All right, so All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do here we go. Okay, something like that. Now the status is only in there if I is 0. go. Okay. All right, so now this is where I'm going to look at how I did all my other stuff. Nah, that's the right way. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I was in the zone a little bit. Hmm. No, it's not right. It's supposed to be like this. Yeah. There you go. I mean, why not update column? Why not let it be null? Okay. Now we have the header cell rendered. We have that rendered. But I may need to change later is like the annotations are one part of it. I want to be able to show like, a link to the last run, all that stuff. So that's okay. So that's good. All right. All right, that was good. All right, so now let's create a new, let's do pipeline runs hub. So it's really important that all of this is the same name because of how it defines the entry. And then this is pipeline run annotations, annotation runs hub. Okay. Pretty simple. The reason why there's this hub thing is it makes it easier. So it creates all of this stuff. Yeah, it makes the configurations and all that. I don't need all of that, honestly. Just need to bring in this. All right. Okay. Let's do it. That is everything. So let's see how this goes. Okay. Update extension. All right. We will see what happens. But this is what we're trying to accomplish. And I want these to be drop downs. We'll see. Because here's the thing. Well, actually, I want to see if I have theming, if theming works for my extension. It does. Cool. All right, so we should see another tab show up once this gets uploaded. How crazy would it be if I got it the first try? That would be pretty crazy. This is a pretty good start. So some things that we need to add is the row selection stuff. We need to add, one thing I want to add is I don't want to just select from our annotations, because we have contextual information now, right? So we now have access to all this information. We know the definition name, the stage name, even some of the tasks. This one, it doesn't have it because there's a bug with releases. But if I go all the way down, you find, so we even have the tasks being executed, which ones they were. So we can even say, like, you know, that's I don't know how we can use that. But in any case, we have access to more things to show. We can even put all of the environment variables, or at least ones that mean things to us, because then what we can do is show this little view, right? This view we don't have. We can even show if it was a PR, manual trigger, automated process. We can even, since they're now stages, we can even show who was it approved from, all that stuff. So a lot more could be done on this. Now, what is still driving me a little bit insane is how we're going to handle the gates. This is something that I still don't know. So like if we have an environment and they have, let's say, an approval gate, right? They have an approval gate here. How is it that we can still capture that it's waiting for approval? Like it'll show up in our dashboard saying waiting for approval, because it won't actually capture the execution because it has, the first step hasn't run yet. Like the first, if we look at our class structure, like if we look at our running of the jobs, it's right here, right? It's this is what's doing the magic. And if we don't have that, if that doesn't start yet, then we don't know. Okay. So one way that I've been thinking is to have the what's it called? There's an Azure DevOps custom gates, something like that. What is this? Oh yeah, so there's a property in the task thing that says run on, and you have to say run on agent, deployment group, server gate, right? Default is agent, but you can change it to server gate to specify the task should run on a, and should show up in the list of gates in the definition editor. In case you want the task to appear in both server tasks, specify value runs as server and server gate. Okay. What is a server task? Yeah, so they have these like policy, there we go. So like query items, invoke REST API. So this is an example. So they have this task, it's of type execute on request or the run on server or server gate, and this one will invoke a REST API, and you can, and it's, you just give it the various things, headers and things like that, and success criteria, and then its actual execution is an HTTP request, right? So like literally this one is just, there's like not even a C, there's no JavaScript file or anything. It's just this definition. And these are the different executions you can have. And the different executions that are available are here. So you have the HTTP request chaining, which those are chaining. It's slightly different, but HTTP request. So here we go. So you have HTTP request, then you have service bus, and then you have HTTP request chain. So that's why you have a chain of different requests to do. And yeah, so we could actually use HTTP request, because literally the only thing that we're doing and the initial state is we're creating a record inside of the extension endpoint of storage data. Now, do we have access to variables? Yeah, you have access to variables. I wonder if you have access to the variables in the pipeline or in the job itself. Something to think about. Interesting. I wonder. All right, let's see if it finished. It finished, so let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing it. I should have done it. Yeah, I should have done it. Almost done, babe. Almost done. I'm almost done. Okay, I'm coming. Yeah, it's not showing up. All right, well, I don't know what happened, but I guess we're gonna have to figure out next time. Oh, shit.